Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Stay to the end. This is going to be me showing another proof of concept. Have the discipline, have the patience to stay to the end, and me either draw or win against the Magnus bot. The best, strongest endgame chess bot at chess.com. Let's get straight to it. Okay. So it's very simple, guys. And you saw me play against the Hikaru bot and managed to clips a draw in a very long technical endgame. Let's see if I can do the same for the Magnus Carlsen bot. We go very simple setup: e4, e5, knight f3, knight f6, bishop b5, knight f6, pawn d4, e takes, knight takes, knight takes, knight takes, pawn takes, queen takes, king takes, bishop d3, knight c5. Now, the question is here. There's only two moves I can think of. Bishop o1 looks silly because it doesn't allow you to castle. Just c5. c5. Here, wouldn't go here because that doesn't make sense. Go bishop here. Yeah. Let's go bishop c5. Let's go bishop c5. Very simple. Develop the bishop. This bishop's under threat. Now, the question is, even though now the question is here, the same exact thing. Do I want to trade pawns and get a 2 and kind of switch the majority and get a 2-2 on the queen side and a 3-3 on the king side? Bishop takes, bishop takes. I mean, bishop takes, yeah, I don't want to trade off pawns right now, especially now. In this position, I think king takes. I think king to d1 seems logical. Defend the pawn. This pawn's still hanging. Bishop needs to move back to defend. King d1, something happens to the bishop. Probably going to try to blockade this weakness. Or just attack another pawn. Very logical human move. f5. Back. Can only go here. And pawn f3. Maybe bishop d5. Yeah, offer to trade to exchange to trade off the pawn chain, which is I'm not going to do. Then maybe bishop d2 to support the pawn. But I don't know. It does come with that annoying check though. I feel like, or maybe bishop takes. But then what? He's just not leaving the pawn hanging? I don't know. A defend attack. Honestly, this seems a little bit insane. Maybe I can also just go here and defend. Let's just attack. Let's just attack, make a little forcing move, right? Of course, Magnus going to do that. I'm absolutely not going to trade with him. I'm going to support my bond base. Okay, very simple stuff. Now, what do I do here? Bishop, attack the bishop. Develop the bishop to put pressure on the knight. I'm going to do something more forcing. Knight c3, bishop to e6. Bishop c3. Bishop c2, bishop to e7. Rook goes on the e file. Let's attack the bishop. Very simple stuff. Attack the bishop, right? Bishop moves away. But what now? Like, this seems that's I don't know. I mean, let's just do it. I mean, there's no reason not to. Just put pressure on the knight. Okay, bishop develops to attack. Put pressure on the pawn. Maybe knight d1, knight f6, kind of a little reroute idea. I could also just get my king on a dark square. Let's kind of do this reroute idea. Let's keep it very, very textbook, very simple. Okay, rook on the open file, very logical move. Let's just get the king more active. Let's mirror a little shield formation. This looks absolutely terrible and passive, but I think this is going to be very strong for the long term. I think that this is exactly the right idea. The knight goes after the pawn, very logical. Attack the pawn. Attack the pawn. Okay, bishop check. Now I have to actually be extremely precise here. Block. Maybe there's some sort of way, yeah, that's just a tactic. Because pawn takes, knight takes, bishop takes, king takes, rook to d8. I don't think that's a trade I want to do. Yeah, but that's if I trade him to that position, he's gonna get the dominant open file, and I'm gonna just completely lose. This is a key moment. Okay, let me calculate. King c1 maybe. Knight c3. Knight c3, because what he wants to do is offer a trade of pieces, but I need to trade off one pair of bishops. That's my goal here. Because I'm worse, but its disadvantage is like very hard to do. Because if I go c3, then it's maybe just rook d8 check. Yeah, I get refuted by rook d8 maybe. So I'm gonna do my little king walk. Do my little king walk. I'm gonna just get active with my king walk. That is a very smart move. Discover, attack the bishop. I almost fell for that tactic. Very smart move. I am not gonna do that because what? Maybe there's some sort of tactic here, right? Because I want to complicate the position. You know what? Maybe. Yeah, I think actually, but it goes here, that's gonna be really, really frustrating. I want to go a3. If rook takes, I take. These pawns are doubled, but they grip all these squares. You gotta maintain the tension here because I know I need to find a precise moment to trade. Because I just take the stuff, I just lose the bishop, and if I lose one bishop pair now, it's completely done. I have no idea what to do. A3 or bishop d2. I don't think so. It puts unnecessary pressure on the knight, and it doesn't give access to the square, but it gives access to this square. I have no idea. I really don't understand what to do. I'm gonna just try to complicate the position as much as I can. I'm gonna try my absolute best. Right, the bishop was gonna move back. Then what? I have this little fork, but I know I need to. I'm gonna just defend everything. I have to be extremely patient and extremely vigilant. Just put the rook open on the e file. Can move these minor pieces away. Okay, bishop for knight here. I have the bishop pair now. I'm gonna just take with the rook. Okay, that's good. His knight has this annoying little square. Right, check over. Hmm. Surrender the fire to counter strike. I mean, yeah, let's surrender the file. Try to counter strike. Okay, knight attacks. The knight attacks. Rook d2 as I offer. Offer to trade a rooks. Try to simplify in a way to get pressure. I don't know if I should take with. Can I take with the bishop? Or can I take with the king? I'm probably going to take with the bishop because it puts pressure on the knight. So we have the bishop pair. He has knight and bishop. 3-3. All equal majority. No pawns have been pushed. I should be I should be technically drawing here now. Okay. I actually been able to do this. The king steps forward. Then what? Now I gotta actually calculate. Bishop d3. Pawn to g6. Pawn to g6. Um, a pawn to f4 hangs. I don't know. PD2 also was a difference, but let's just put pressure on the queen side. Let's just put very strong pressure on the queen side. Very logical move. I could trade off the bishop pair here, but I don't want this annoying little check to come in. Tempo is very important. Okay, I'm gonna just run away, get my king active. Very simple. Okay, the knight checks me. I go up. It don't really make a difference. If I go here, it doesn't really make a difference. I'm gonna try to get my king more active. Okay, you're gonna check me again. This should just be a dead draw. Just triangulation. Try to escape like this. Now the question is, what do I do? It takes. This takes hanging. Um, Hmm. I have no idea. Um, knight takes e2. Knight takes. Bishop takes. There has to be some sort of answer here. Maybe knight. Wait, maybe takes, and then I scoot back instead of big hole. That looks a little bit crazy though. I don't know. I'm nervous. Come on, okay. Takes, back. Takes back, then what? Maybe go f4, pressure the pawn. I have no idea. There's f4. Um, maybe I can go g3, bishop back, defend the pawn. Beautiful score. I have no idea. I think this is just. I think this is winning. I'm gonna confidently say it. Yep, right, exactly as I planned. And then bishop d3, and then bishop moves away. Okay, so now this is just a draw. Basically, just a practical dead draw. The rook gets active. I threat some discovery checks. King scoots. Okay, so this is actually. I'm actually able to draw. The question is, how do I maintain this draw? Maybe I can restrict the bishop squares. f5 seems a little. 1 to f4 seems a little crazy, but they're there. Let's go pawn f4. Let's restrict the bishop. Just put pressure on the pawn. Very simple things. Very simple stuff. Rook lift. Rook lift again. Coordinate all my pieces together. Okay, chilling. Pushed up pawn. This should just be a complete fortress now. Now this should be just a complete utter fortress. I guess we'll just we'll just simply make a little fortress, and we should just go for a draw. Yeah, this is just a dead draw. Here, king can always get here. If I go here, rook always guards. I go here. Then maybe bishop defends. No, bishop can defend like this maybe. Yeah, this is just a complete fortress. I mean, just a very simple fortress. Pushed up on. Okay, very strange. I'm gonna go ahead and try to get active on the rook, not my rookie. Okay, this should just be a complete fortress. Yep, very simple stuff. Okay. Don't really matter. King g2. I'm probably gonna I'm gonna probably just get my king out, bring my king out like this. Bishop goes away. I guess we'll just go back. We'll just slide back and forth, see if we can go for a threefold. Let's go again. Yeah, he's gonna probably go for a threefold. And that works. Wow. I just drew against the Magna spot. Wow. Amazing. Amazing. I actually did that shit. Wow. How the hell did I do that? This position actually works. This personal concept actually works. I don't even know what to say, guys. E4, E5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop g5, knight f6, d4, e takes, knight takes, pawn takes, check takes, bishop scoot over, knight attacks, bishop scoot over, king slides away. You have to play some very inhuman chess, though. That's the thing. Like, you gotta find some very hard moves, but this is actually a very strong proof of concept. I mean, beautiful f3, bishop move back, defend the pawn base, knight c3, bishop move away, tap pressure on the knight, bishop comes closer, reroute knight idea, check, right? And keep the tension. This is the key, keeping the tension and not trading on Magnus's turns. That's how I was able to secure this draw. Liquidate. Understood the power of bleeding this advantage away. Triangulation. Trading off into an opposite color bishop endgame with pure rook and bishop. And then now it's just a straight theoretical draw. Put all the colors on the opposite color of the bishop. The rook invades to ensure mutual match destruction. And then you just go back and forth. This actually worked. So I have no idea what to say, guys. Absolutely beautiful game by me. He was only up 1 point. Beautiful game. No. Let's see. Probably because the moves I made. Takes, stack, bam, 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 bam. Okay. I had the right idea. Defending the pawn base. Keeping the tension. Not trading on my opponent's terms, trading on my terms. Being able to build that fortress. And yeah, that liquidated into a draw. Because I had the bishop here. Back, king steps. King steps forward. Triangulate. Step forward. Takes. Bishop shoots back, and then opposite color bishop with rook. Get all the pawns on light squares, create a little defensive fortress, and then you just run back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I mean, that's just the anti-Berlin system, guys. I have nothing else to say. Everything was explained as clear as day. Keeping the tension, I'm going to say this. This is the one tip I want you to take from this video. Sit here. Ask yourself this. As you see, right, the game, I want you to ask yourself, why did I not keep my bishop here? Why did I defend this pawn with my king? Why did I decide to? Why didn't I go like this? Why did I attack the bishop? Why did he move away his bishop? Why did I attack and put pressure on the knight? Why did he bring his piece forward? Okay, I want you to look at every trade in this game. Like, look at this. I could easily grab this, but the question is, why didn't I? Check, right? King move. Why did I maintain this tension like this? All these pieces tension? And why did Magnus Carlsen do one bad trade that forced a draw? It's because this is it. This is simply it. I'm going to show you, trade on my terms, each. And then I was able to build a fortress. So the question is, how did I force a draw with the best chess engine bot in the world? There's only 2 tips I'm going to tell you. I kept the tension and I forced him to trade on my terms. I never allowed the Magnus Carlsen bot to trade on his terms, because if he trades on his terms, then he wins the game. That's how I forced a draw, gentlemen. This is the tip I want you to apply to chess. Do not trade on your opponent's terms. Force him to trade on your terms. One bad trade mistake with the rook and led me to go to a completely drawn endgame. So, what does this teach you guys? Trade on your terms. Keep the tension. Do the stuff that looks inhuman, because it's not impossible. It's just really the natural human mind wants to trade things and simplify. But when you keep the tension and you trade on your terms, you're able to simplify into theoretical endgames that are completely dead and drawn. Complete fortress built. Even when Magnus Carlsen is up a pawn. That's the proof of concept for the anti-Berlin Argudo anti-Berlin defense system. Thank you guys. Goodbye.